Adjusting the look of your slider. At the moment, you'll notice an image here. It says domain names. If you wait a few moments, it changes to hosting, and then a few moments later, it will actually change again. WordPress, and so on. There's actually a number of images there, and they're in a rotating slider. How they slide from one to the other. In this case, I have chosen fade. In a real sense, it's the entire image from the top left-hand corner here to the bottom right-hand corner. These images are identical except for the wording there. Because it fades, it gives the appearance that this section is the only section that is changing, when in reality the whole image is. You can actually control whether the image slides in, fades, flips. There's a whole bunch of options, and we're going to look at some of those now. In addition to that, you can have little arrows on the corner here so that you can manually go from slide to slide, and also numbers down the bottom saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., showing how many slides there are. That can be turned on and off. We're going to have a look at that now. So what we do is we go into the menu, logging into WordPress, going to the dashboard, remembering of course that this is purely related to the tempera theme. This theme you see in front of you, tempera. So under tempera settings, you've got presentation page. Here we go. The presentation page is enabled at the moment. This is the section that we're going to refer to, whether or not the slider navigation is turned on. We'll turn that on first with numbers, and then we're going to save that. So now what we would expect to see is a little box appear here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on it. We'll just refresh. In some cases that's a good thing or not, it's completely up to you. So now you see you've got the same image, but you've got 1, 2, you can actually change the page manually. Each time you click on it, you force it from going from one slide to the other. Of course that can be turned off. On the left you'll see, and on the right you'll see there are no arrows pointing left or right. You can also control it that way. We're going to turn that on now. Same thing, in the dashboard, under Appearance, go to Tempera Settings, and underneath the section that says Show Arrows, it's currently hidden. Simply turn it on, either on always, visible only when you hover the mouse over it, or hidden. We'll choose for the moment always visible. We'll come down to the bottom and save that. And then refresh. And then in a few seconds you'll notice that there's arrows. They're the arrows that I was referring to. So you can literally scroll, click again, click again. You can manually control which page is being displayed, which image, by using those controls. Now, we'll leave those controls on for the moment and actually stipulate how it's to go from one slide to the other. Same again, under Appearance, under Tempera Settings, we'll go to the presentation page, and this time instead of fade we'll choose, let's say, fold. There is a number of them, we're not going to go through all of them, but you can test that yourself, see which one works for you. So we'll choose fold, save the changes, and then come back to the page and hit refresh. Okay, we're on clip number 1. We just wait a few moments, you'll see how it goes to number 2. It's folding the text. We go to number 3. You can see the text is adjusting here. And number 5. So that's folding. So you can control how the image goes from one to the other. We'll do one more. I'd like to show you slide in. The entire image will slide. Just waiting for that to save. Come back, refresh. Now watch that image, the whole image will slide in from left to right. So we'll go to number 2. Well, that's interesting. Okay, I think what's happening there is the whole image is sliding in, but because this area is the same, you don't notice any change. Anyway, there you go, you have it. You've got a slider which you can control, will come in left or right, fade. You can turn the arrows on and off, you can put the numbers on and off. Let's go back to the way I prefer it, which is to have the slider hidden. No navigation, no bullets, and personally I prefer them to fade in. That's just me. We'll save that and we'll go back to that main screen again and see how that came out. There we go, nice and neat. You'll also notice there is a duration of time between one slide and the next. That duration is generally controlled by this, how long you want it to pause for in between. I've got 8,000 milliseconds. That's probably a couple of seconds. That's actually pretty good. Animation time, the actual sliding effect. You'll find these figures are fairly good, but adjust them to suit yourself. And that's how you adjust your sliding images at the front page.